the scramble to shape Trump's Gaza plan is just beginning. It's just beginning because they said that the Arab, Turkish, Saudi, Qatari, Egyptian, Pakistani delegations were infuriated by, and Jordanian, if I'm not mistaken, apart from the Pakistani. Pakistan said another statement that I will talk to you about in a sec. They were furious about the fact that Donald Trump came up with this proposal that wasn't what they intended or agreed on. And I posted the actual confirmation from them. It spoke about a Palestinian state. It did not speak about disarming the Palestinian resistance. It was an initial document rather than a final sealed deal, take it or leave it type of thing. It wasn't the case. And now more Arab leaders are speaking about it more clearly. It was yesterday, it was the Qatari Prime Minister who spoke very clearly that this is the beginning and we need to negotiate based on that. But the clearer confirmations came now from Egypt saying that the Trump plan has many loopholes and needs to be discussed. The Egyptian foreign minister said that Trump's Gaza plan requires further discussion on how to implement it, particularly with regard to governance security. He added that many gaps that need to be filled Trump's plan for Gaza. We support Trump's plan, his vision to end the war in Gaza, and we need to move forward. If there is political will, I believe Trump's plan for Gaza can be implemented, but it requires participation. So they're saying that they did not accept on this proposal they had. It has many loopholes. It needs to be changed. This is not the same deal that we spoke about with you. He clearly went afterwards with Benjamin Netanyahu. Netanyahu started to, amend here and there and say, yeah, no, we don't want this deadline. The only time frame is basically just, the release of the prisoners of war. Nothing else has a timeline. So the Palestinians, they need to release all of the prisoners of war, the IDF terrorists still held in Gaza, by the way, and within 72 hours. And the Palestinian, there is no timeline for Israel to release anyone. There's no timeline for Israel to withdraw. Israel is going to stay there to ensure the mechanisms are being implemented. And Israel can use any excuse in that whole Zionist document to say that we need to stay here and commit more massacres. This was a preparation for larger massacres because no one would deter Israel. And I'm going to show you how their chicken forces are getting deterred in Gaza in a second with the recent videos that the Palestinian resistance is publishing about them being butchered inside of the Gaza Strip, the Israeli terror forces, running in their vehicles and the Palestinian resistance targeting them from zero distance. As a matter of fact, sub-zero distance. Again. And they're saying that we're going to occupy Gaza. So if you're not going to face that, what's going to prevent them from doing everything tomorrow? We already had that happen in history in 1982 and previous and afterwards as well. All of that happened before. Look at what happened in the West Bank. 60,000 people have been ethnically cleansed of Jenin. And the Israeli army is sitting there partying and celebrating. 32 years after the Oslo Accords. And at the time, it was an even bigger celebration, by the way. The Palestinian and Israeli leaders were shaking hands, and people thought it's going to be the end, up until, of course, the Israelis assassinated their prime minister who wanted this supposed peace at the time. And Benjamin Netanyahu was one of those people who didn't like him, to say the least. Now they want to sell the Palestinian cause for good, and that's not going to happen. That isn't going to happen. It wasn't only Egypt. Pakistan came on board afterwards. Trump's Gaza plan is not our document. Pakistan's top diplomat said the 8 Muslim nations, Turkey, Pakistan, Saudi, Qatar, the UAE, Egypt, Jordan, Indonesia, were committed to continuing diplomatic coordination in Gaza, even if differences remained. And that this document that Donald Trump published after he met with Benjamin Netanyahu, it wasn't the document that they spoke about. It was a different document. Then Benjamin Netanyahu came and he started to have all of these amendments and clauses with Ron Dermer. These were reports that this was the original version, and then look at, in red are the amendments of Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel. Look at how many amendments he had. So there could have been something that, you know, worked, or when both sides went ahead with. Israel already agreed previously on certain things that they later backtracked on. Anyway, they were the ones breaking the ceasefires, and the American administration is just giving them a backing and buying them time. It's all a show. He's not serious. If Donald Trump was serious, he would have forced Benjamin Netanyahu, all of this talk that he is not happy and he's this and that. If he told them take it or leave it after he met with the Arab and Muslim states and he put him on the spot, he would have accepted it. We would have had a deal. Instead, we have a more Netanyahu envisioned version that wants to eliminate the Palestinian case once and for all, that Trump went ahead with, which proves that him and Netanyahu are two sides to the same coin. And it baffles me that some people still give him the benefit of the doubt. This massive Zionist, Donald Trump, who we knew very clearly from his first term, from 2016 to 2020, how many things did he do only for the sake of Israel? He took the United States and Europe out of an agreement with Iran for the sake of Israel. He was the first American president to move the American embassy to Jerusalem. He approved of the Israeli annexation and occupation of the Golan Heights. And then Benjamin Netanyahu, you know, as a thank you, he called one place there Trump Hill, Givat Trump in Hebrew. What do we have here? We have a circus. That's what we have here. A Zionist circus led by Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. They might as well wear this ping pong nose thing and stupid hats and roam around and act silly. A Zionist circus led by Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu. That's what we have. They're not serious. And despite the fact that this psychological warfare stunt that they came up with to fool many people, and they have, to show as if everyone is against Hamas now, or everyone is against, you know, the Palestinians, and they need to accept it, and everyone was hurrying and rushing to assume all sorts. Again, regardless of what you think of any of the countries participating, shameful inaction, not sufficient support, valid, I'm with you. But that document, they did not submit that document. Let's be fair, right? Let's be frank. Whether you like these establishments or not, they did not accept that document. And now they're saying it outright. And in public too. It's not just because firstly they told Trump, don't publish the document. Then he went ahead with it after pressure from Netanyahu. And he's trying to act like he's boss by making Netanyahu, you know, call the Qatar Amir and whatever, as if, you know, I'm the boss or whatever. Yeah. All stunts, all PR stunts. So this stunt worked to an extent. However, it very quickly was trashed with these confirmations that came from the leaders about the fact that it wasn't the original document that we signed on. And that gives the Palestinian side now more backing. Now, will Donald Trump tell the Palestinian side now after 3 days, oh, that's it, time's out? What are you going to tell them? I'm going to open the gates of hell? You already said gates of hell the next day after you became president. After we were promising everyone peace, and your voters and your supporters who were chanting Genocide Joe in your rallies, you hypocrite. He didn't do anything after. Hell, you're already showing them hell for the past 2 years. What kind of hell? What hell? Israel killing more? They kill people every day anyway. What is the incentive and the motive for the average Gazan to come and accept this without any guarantee that the butchering is going to stop? Because that's what we have. Listen, if there was like a straightforward guarantee the Israeli massacres are going to stop, there might have been an argument. There isn't. This document gives Israel a blank check to continue and increase the genocide. The war will end immediately, but not the military actions. But you're not setting a time frame for the withdrawal. But you're not confirming that the war is not going to restart. You're not confirming anything. In effect, you're legitimizing more Israeli presence and the wholesale of Gaza for property developers and tycoons to come and build their luxuries on top of the bodies and skeletons of infants and innocent civilians under the rubble. Make America great again. That's your great America for you. That's great America of Donald Trump. That's the great America. Developments over the bodies of infants. Make America great again. Take that. That's your America. That's your great America. Okay. That's not going to work. Because the Palestinian side, again, they don't have anything to lose. They already lost everything. It's not like there's anything material to protect or save. That's not going to happen.